letting go of what once protected you but no longer serves who you are becoming. Let's breathe that in. Welcome back to the Achieve Intentional Transformation podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Leonie H. Mattison, and I'm grateful you're still listening, still present, still willing to stay with the work rather than rush past it. So thank you. Thank you for the gift of your presence and your time. You've joined me for episode 4 in our 7-part series centered on the T.H.R.E.A.D thread system, a framework for navigating disruption with clarity, courage, and integrity so you can live and lead with intention rather than with reaction. Before we move forward, let's reconnect briefly to where we've been. In episode 1, you acknowledged disruption not as an abstract idea, but as a lived, embodied experience, something that shows up in your nervous systems, your energy, and your pace. In episode 2, you practiced think deeply, clarifying who you're becoming even while certainty remained unavailable. In episode 3, you showed yourselves enough and slowed down to harvest wisdom, naming what changed, identifying pressure points, and recognizing the patterns that surface under strain. Today, I'd like to move us into the third stitch of the T.H.R.E.A.D thread system, and that is to release patterns. Yes. This is where insight must turn into action, not rushed action, but discerning when it's time to release. My friends, knowing what to do and not doing what we know is not wisdom. So let's talk about what's happening now. Many of you listening today already know what needs to be released. You may not have the courage as yet to let it go, but you can feel it, right? You recognize the pattern, not because someone pointed it out, but because your body tightens, your body sends a signal, right? There are these signals that appears, whether it's your breath that shortens or your mind accelerates or your shoulder lift or even drop, or it shows up in your tone and how your tone shifts. Most of you may notice how under pressure you default to over-functioning or over-preparing or over-explaining or even withdrawing. You may recognize also the compulsion to manage perception or control outcomes or carry what was never meant to be carried alone. And here's the complexity. These patterns once worked. Yes, they protected you, they stabilized you, and helped you succeed in environments that rewarded endurance over your health and composure over honesty. My friends, something in you knows they no longer fit the leader you are becoming. And so let's talk about why patterns are so hard to release. I want you to understand that patterns are not character flaws. They're not weaknesses either. Patterns are your survival intelligence. They form when the nervous system learns how to move through uncertainty, instability, or threat. And research shows that over time, those patterns become automatic, meaning they're embedded not just in thought, but in our muscle memory, our breath, and even our posture. And this is why release is not simply a cognitive exercise, and why it's very difficult as well. Your body, my friends, already understand this principle way much better than your mind does. Let's talk about something that's common to all of us. Every healthy system is designed to both take in and let go. Let's talk about the body. The lungs inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Our kidneys filter waste continuously from the body. When it comes to our liver, it detoxifies what would otherwise poison the body. And even sleep is a nightly neurological clearing, allowing the brain to release what no longer serves clarity or function. Nothing alive survives by holding everything. Let's talk about nature. I'm out in nature today. Nature does not negotiate with the waste. It does not archive what is complete. It releases quietly and without apology, but it lets go. And I love the tree. It's a great masterclass. Now, our bodies does not release recklessly. It releases with precision. It keeps what nourishes, and it eliminates what would eventually cause harm. Your life and leadership follows the same law. What you do not release does not remain neutral. It becomes congestive. I know. Let's talk about the cost of carrying what is complete. When the body cannot release, illness follows. When our ecosystems cannot clear excess, imbalance spreads. When leaders cannot let go of expired strategies, the system deteriorates slowly, often invisibly too, until the cost becomes undeniable. And it's the same in our personal lives. Retention without discernment is not strength, it is congestion. And let's talk about how unreleased patterns shows up. It shows up as chronic fatigue that we mistaken for commitment. It shows up as hypervigilance, mistaken for excellence. It shows up as control, mistaken for leadership, and emotional distance, we mistaken for professionalism. My friends, left attended, these patterns do not disappear, they migrate. And what I mean by that, they move with you into new roles, new organizations, new seasons, and even new relationships and partnerships. The environment changes, yes, but the internal response remains the same. And so release is not about becoming someone else. It is about removing what no longer belongs in the season of your life and leadership. You're not failing because the pattern surfaced. I want you to know that you are evolving because you notice it. So congratulations. That's my hope for you for this particular episode. So let's talk about releasing with intention. How do you do that? In the show notes, you'll find a downloadable release patterns worksheet, and I specifically designed it to guide this process with care and clarity. So if you don't have it in front of you, stay with the questions. We're going to go through it one by one. Now, return again to the disruption you identified in episode 1. Hold it alongside the wisdom you harvested in episode 3. And keep your vision statement at the forefront. You're not rushing ahead. You're completing the lesson so it does not follow you forward. I want you to think of this process the way the body works. And I'm bringing that image because release does not happen annually. It happens daily, quietly, and consistently. And releasing, this is not a dramatic purge. I see releasing as stewardship, okay? So I'm going to walk you through 5 practices. So if you're multitasking, go ahead and just listen to these 5 practices. You can always come back to the recording of the video. So the 5 practices to release patterns that's keeping you tethered to where you are. Number 1, honor the pattern's original purpose. Before releasing anything, acknowledge what it once did for you. Here's what you can ask yourself. What did this pattern protect me from? And when did it first become necessary? You cannot release what you refuse to respect and acknowledge. Gratitude disarms resistance. Number 2, name the current cost. What once helped you may now be extracting a price. So I want you to ask yourself, what does this pattern cost me now in energy, trust, or alignment? And how does it shape my leadership under pressure? It's cold out here. I want you to know that clarity strengthens resolve. Number 3, identify trigger moment. Patterns have a way of activating before conscious choice. So I want you to ask yourself, what happens just before this pattern takes over? What sensation, thought, or fear signals its arrival? Because, my friends, awareness restores your urgency. Now, number 4, I want you to practice a conscious interruption. And this is where it gets a little bit, messy. Release happens in moments, not in declarations. So I want you to ask yourself, do the work now, and ask yourself, what is one small interruption I can practice when this pattern appears? And also, what would a different response look like just once? Small shifts rewire systems. Yes. Number 5, replace the pattern with a standard. Nature never leaves a vacuum, and neither does the psyche. So I want you to ask yourself, what value or standard will guide me instead? And also, what leadership look like when I am less defended and more grounded? And when I say leadership, I mean leadership, self-leadership, okay? Release is sustainable only when paired with replacement. So that's why I said you have to do the work, and sometimes it's a little bit messy. So let's talk about a better way forward. When patterns loosens their grip, your life and leadership changes quietly but profoundly. You'll find that you respond rather than react. You listened without rehearsing. You act without overproving. And the best part, you rest without guilt. And that is what I want for you. This is not a loss. Release is circulation. And what you'll find is that your energy returns, your judgment sharpens, and your presence expands. Just as the body becomes more vital when it releases regularly, your life and leadership becomes more trustworthy when it is unburdened by what no longer belongs. Yes. This is not about becoming lighter by accident. It is about becoming lighter by design. And that is what I want for you, my friends. Yes. Oh, I love being outside. It's so beautiful. I feel loved. So let's close with reflection. Many of us were taught that holding on is strength, but living systems tell a different story. Strength is discernment, my friends. Wisdom is knowing when something has completed its work and it's time to let it go. And when you release patterns, it's not about loss. It is about freeing your capacity. It's about liberating your capacity to lead with clarity, to decide without fear, and to enter the next season of your life unencumbered. Yes. And so let's recap. Let's do a quick recap. You acknowledge disruption. You clarified who you are becoming. You harvested wisdom from the season, and today you began releasing what no longer serves that future. Congratulations. It's a start. And so in our next episode, we will explore the fourth stage, which is to enlist allies, because no resilient system, human or organizational, is designed to function in isolation. And as I always say, no man is an island and no man stands alone. So as you move forward this week, sit with this question. What is my system, meaning my body, my mind, my leadership, ready to release so that vitality can return? If today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who's navigating transition. Subscribe, leave a brief review, and download the release pattern worksheet in the show notes. And remember, if you can, choose one pattern to interrupt this week, not perfectly, but intentionally. I am so grateful for you, and congratulations for doing the work that lightens not just your leadership, but your life. I'm going to close by releasing. Oh, releasing. I'm releasing so much out of me while I'm in nature. So until next time, my friends, breathe deeply, drink lots of water, and remember what the body releases without apology, the soul must eventually release with wisdom. Until next time, this is Dr. Leonie H. Mattison. Thank you for the gift of your presence, your time, and your contributions. And I wish you a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day on top of the earth. Let's breathe for a couple of minutes. Join me if you can and just breathe.